Welcome back to our interview with Waleed Arafa, the mastermind architect and designer behind the Basuna Mosque. In our last episode, Waleed walked us through the village as well as his thought process behind the design of the iconic mosque. Being the public building par excellence of the village, the Basuna Mosque is also down the street from the town's main market. Both are on a very narrow road, which creates traffic and therefore a lot of noise, odors, and dust. These conditions not only affected the design of the mosque, but also the construction, making it impossible to use any heavy machinery. Instead, construction relied upon more traditional means, which we'll discuss later.
Of course, all of this goes against the kind of atmosphere, ambience you want in a mosque or a place of worship. You want noise to be at its lowest levels, you want the place to smell nice, and you want to be in full presence, not being distracted on a physical level. So then you can be relaxed psychologically and then start journeying spiritually. You know, this is how I understand it, at least. And so looking at this, when I first came to design it, I understood that I had to think of the building in a certain way, whereas I need to give the basic needs in terms of ventilation, natural ventilation and natural lighting, which usually means windows. But if we have many windows, then everything you can hear now will be inside, which defeats the purpose of the mosque. And so the solution was to actually create an envelope using cavity walls.
By creating 45-centimeter thick cavity walls, which provided noise and heat insulation, and only having one window and two access doors, Waleed managed to create serenity in the midst of everything. And thanks to the oculus and the pendative domes he designed, the interior is poetically flooded in natural light. A big inspiration stylistically and functionally for Waleed is Mamluke architecture, an architectural style that was developed under the Mamluke Sultanate that ruled over Egypt, Levant, and Hejaz from Cairo from 1250 to 1517 AD. Monuments during that period were characteristically multifunctional, housing various institutions like mosque, madras, charitable elements, and the like. Primarily built of stone, the style also took advantage of marble, glass, and wood used for doors, paneling, and mashrabiyas. The style is known for its development of highly ornate domes and minarets. Another factor that influenced Waleed was the localization and uniqueness found in Mamluke architecture.
I imagine you're a big fan of the Mamluke architecture.
Absolutely. There are lots of lessons because, again, what they did, and not one building is like the other. There are things that are in common, but they were very, very, very contextual in the way they dealt with each plot and what it was used for and how that related to the streets.
The most striking of them is the Grand Cordoba Mosque-inspired dome, a style some might call Western Islamic and a modest precursor to the Gothic rib vaulting. By adding a level of translucency to the vestibule dome, transitioning from strong outdoor light to a more shaded area becomes more comfortable to the eye. Another major element in the entrance is the gorgeous, large-scale wooden main door, a typical characteristic of Mamluke architecture. Mamluke wooden doors have survived for over 7 centuries, thanks to the innovative techniques used in creating them.
All the ancient carpentry and woodwork, and also in churches and all of that, which is the way that they do the joinery without the need of metal pieces like nails or whatever. They do it in a certain way with an understanding of the material and how the fiber shrinks and expands. So then to maintain the dimensions of the door. So you went on, we found people still in Egypt who can do that, and we commissioned that. It's more expensive than a normal door, but that's when we're talking only about the direct cost. But if we're talking about maintenance, if we're talking about sustainability, then it is definitely more economic and grander and more beautiful.
The transparent glass pattern opposite the main entrance is also striking and beneficial. Installed sideways in the wall, by default creating a green tint, the glass brings in more natural light to the space, covers a dead area behind it, and is a beautiful representation of the 99 names of God.
This is like a QR code of the mosque. It shows you the proportional system which created the whole thing.
Once inside the main area of the mosque, your eyes naturally ascend to see where the flood of natural light is coming from. Looking up, you see the masterpiece of the mosque, the Bassuna Dome, a first of its kind in the world. Built by bricklayers with the help of an oversized steel compass and a simple cutting list, the dome uses the same pattern we saw in the corner of the Omda's house, i.e. the mayor's house in the first episode. Using lightweight Egyptian blocks that decreased in size as they approached the oculus, the dome arrangement is also inspired by Hajj pilgrims circling the Kaaba, Islam's holiest site. While discussing how we deal with our past and heritage, Waleed didn't sanctify everything from the past and feels that we can learn from their mistakes and accomplishments. For example, Waleed gave new purpose to elements like the pentative domes on the roof. While still giving them their traditional structural and visual roles, Waleed also gave them a major role in the mosque's ventilation and shading due to their location and angles. Waleed chose this particular angle so that the domes can capture the cool northern breezes via their vertical openings. Secondly, they offer shading as the opaque portion of the domes follow the solar path while allowing the light to become diffused.
And so here the fifth facade becomes the solution to the problem that we were talking about, that you need to really protect this space and envelop it. But then also you need ventilation and you need light.
Yes.
And for that, we literally, technically, spiritually, symbolically went to heaven.
Yes.
to the fifth facade, the top one. The only exception here then is this window, because this is the only side of the mosque that overlooks a very peaceful area because it's the cemetery.
Yes.
So there is no noise, there's no one moving around, there's no dust in the air. And it serves, so this is the environmental bit, but also it serves that when you come from the main entrance, and this is what you see, you see the cemetery, it reminds you of where we're going later. Because usually the imam, before the prayer starts, to make you be in presence, they say, Salli salata muwadda, pray as if this is your last prayer.
Yes.
And this is an architectural translation of that, because you come in and this is what you see in your face. You see death, which means life in a different form, as understood by Abrahamic religions and many other religions. And so there is an afterlife, but it's trying to tell you you're here as a passerby. Remember that. So stand in the presence of God, collected with one heart.
Yes.
And so here, another juxtaposition between the environmental and the symbolic.
In our next episode, Waleed will share the story of the equally unique and inspiring art of the mihrab and the minbar. And we'll see how all these combined elements have created a soulful and minimal masterpiece that positively affects all its guests.